Welcome to Factograph. For the past few days, people haven't been talking about anything other than the city that was allegedly discovered beneath the pyramids of Giza through radar waves. Social media has been flooded with images and news about it. To summarize, a few days ago, a conference was held in Italy where a group of researchers claimed they had discovered a complete underground city beneath the Pyramid of Khafra. They reported finding massive columns directly under the pyramid, and hidden chambers buried deep underground. From time to time, we hear similar claims, hypotheses about secret tunnels beneath the Giza Plateau, hidden chambers under the Sphinx, and more. But this time, things seem different. This time, the news has caused a major stir, and everyone is talking about it. So, what's the truth behind this discovery? Why is it causing such a buzz? And more importantly, is it real or just another baseless theory? But before we start, if you're new to Factograph, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our videos. On March 15, 2025, 3 researchers held a press conference in Italy: Corrado Malonga from the University of Pisa, Armando May from the University of Naples, and Filippo Biondi from the University of Strathclyde. They claimed they had been working on a project related to the Pyramid of Khafra for a while, using advanced scanning technology to study the pyramid and its surroundings. The technology they used is called synthetic aperture radar, SAR. This technique allows scientists to analyze objects anywhere on Earth via satellite imaging, without having to be physically present. It is commonly used for geographic surveys and aerial imaging, but this was the first time it was applied to archaeological exploration. By accessing data from an Italian satellite system called Cosmo-SkyMed, which consists of 4 satellites operated by the Italian Space Agency, ASI, they directed radio waves at the Pyramid of Khafra and analyzed the returned data. And that's when they made a shocking announcement. The research team claimed to have discovered 8 massive cylindrical columns directly beneath the Pyramid of Khafra. Each column, they said, is over 600 meters, 2,000 feet, tall. That's the height of a 200-story building. To put that into perspective, the Pyramid of Khafra itself is only 140 meters, 460 feet, tall, just a quarter of the size of these columns. They also claimed that the columns were evenly divided into 2 groups of 4 and that underneath them lay a vast, hollow chamber measuring approximately 80 cubic meters. Around each column, they allegedly detected a spiral staircase leading down to this secret chamber. But that's not all. The researchers stated that the chamber and columns are connected to a massive underground structure extending more than 2 kilometers, 1.2 miles, below the surface, as well as a network of tunnels linking the 3 pyramids together, complete with water channels and underground passages. Naturally, people who heard this at the conference were left in shock and awe. If true, this discovery could completely change our understanding of ancient Egyptian history. It could also give credibility to many alternative theories, such as the idea that the pyramids were not tombs but part of an energy-generating system, or that they house hidden chambers filled with lost treasures and ancient records. Some even suggest that an earlier civilization existed before the ancient Egyptians and that they were the ones who built these underground structures, while the Egyptians merely continued their work. You can imagine how such a claim set off endless speculation. But before we get carried away with all these theories, let's ask the most important question: is this study scientifically sound? To put it bluntly, the claims made by the Italian researchers have serious red flags. Triangular flag on post: why is the study questionable? No published research paper. Despite the major claims, no official research paper has been published. The study has not been reviewed by experts or published in any scientific journal. In fact, the only source where the results were initially shared was a Facebook profile belonging to someone affiliated with the researchers. That's right, The first public announcement of this discovery was not through a scientific journal but through a Facebook post. Two universities remain silent. The universities associated with these researchers have not acknowledged or endorsed the study. The websites of the University of Pisa and University of Strathclyde make no mention of this research, despite covering much smaller archaeological studies. This suggests that even their own institutions do not support the claims. 3. SAR technology has limitations. The study heavily relies on synthetic aperture radar, SAR, which the researchers claim allowed them to detect structures hundreds of meters underground. But here's the problem: SAR technology cannot penetrate the Earth beyond a few dozen meters at best. It is simply not capable of detecting objects 600 meters or 2 kilometers below the surface. This fact was pointed out by Lawrence Conyers, a geophysicist from the University of Denver, who told the Daily Mail that the claims are highly questionable, as radar waves do not penetrate solid ground to such extreme depths. Even more ironic, in 2022, two of the same researchers, Corrado Malonga and Filippo Biondi, published a study in the journal Remote Sensing, where they stated that SAR waves are weak at penetrating solid objects. So how did they go from saying SAR is weak in 2022 to claiming in 2025 that they used it to uncover deep underground structures? For Corrado Malonga's reputation, Corrado Malonga, the lead researcher, is a controversial figure in the scientific community. Despite being a professor of chemistry, his personal beliefs clash with mainstream science. Malonga has publicly claimed that aliens abduct humans, that extraterrestrials helped build structures on Earth, and that stargates exist, allowing people to travel between galaxies. These ideas are considered pseudoscience by most academics. Fire: why did this news spread so quickly? If the study is so flawed, why did it go viral? One, media sensationalism. Instead of publishing their findings in a peer-reviewed journal, the researchers held a press conference, inviting journalists and influencers rather than experts. Since journalists are not specialists, they simply reported what they heard, helping the story spread. 2. Past credibility. Despite their controversies, Malonga and Biondi previously published legitimate research on the pyramids in remote sensing. Their past work lent some credibility to this new claim, even though it lacks proper scientific backing. 3. People want to believe. Many people reject the mainstream explanation that pyramids were just tombs. They prefer alternative theories, whether it's that the pyramids generated energy or that an ancient lost civilization built them. Since this study aligned with these beliefs, it spread rapidly, even without scientific proof. It is entirely possible that there are hidden chambers or tunnels beneath the pyramids. Archaeologists don't deny this. However, this particular claim lacks credible scientific backing, official university support, or published research. At the end of the day, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And sooner or later, the truth will come out. If this discovery proves to be real, we'll definitely cover it in a future episode.